think everything's working. Hello, hello. We are going to be playing some good old Diablo 3. Part of the reason why we're playing Diablo 3 today is just because we are pretty excited about this current Switch thing. You can see I got my Diablo shirt here. Let's see if I can actually make sure everybody's able to see what's going on. It's always so funny whenever you first launch up the streams. You never know what you're gonna get for the way it looks once you load in here. Okay, well that looks kind of okay. Could be a little better quality-wise, but I'll tweak that later if I have to. So let's. Gonna be about there. There we go. So anyways, as I was saying, welcome to a Diablo 3 stream. This is my seasonal character for the current season. Season of Greed, as they've called it, the theme season. Most of the stuff that I'm working on is Torment level 4, so we may not actually hit most of that stuff, just because I'm only in Torment level 2. And it's difficult in Torment level 2, but I can kill Asmodan, so maybe I'll give that a go. Torment level 2 difficulty or higher, kill Asmodan. Reach greater rift level 20 solo. Maybe I can do that, I'm not sure. We'll see. So yeah, we're just kind of working our way through the Season of Greed. And part of the reason why I wanted to fire up a little more Diablo today, I know Diablo's an old game at this stage, and not everybody still plays it. Not everybody had as much fun with it as maybe I did or others did. What do I have for cosmetics, actually? Maybe we can swap some of these out. Wings of the Crypt Guardian, Eternal Light, or Blade Wings. Let's go with the Blade Wings. Pets. Gotta get that little cow. Actually, let's go to the Dominion's Revenge. Portrait frames. I still really like the... oh, and you'll notice that I've named my character Doomslayer because, I mean, why not? And let me know, guys, if the volume of the music and stuff is a little low. I can always hop in there and modify that. I'll actually do a quick Alt-Tab here to try and take a look and see what the levels are at. They're kind of a little bit low. I'll just bring that up a teeny tiny bit. And that should make that a little bit more neat, or whatever we want to call it. Penance. So many different penance. There's the BlizzCon one. That's creepy. Maybe we'll roll with that for a little bit. Or actually, let's roll with like the crazy Diablo 3 one. Anyways, Necromancer. Owned. Okay, so, as I was saying, as of today, they announced that Diablo 3 is coming to the Switch. I don't own a Switch, but I'm still kind of excited about that because just the fact that we're going to have the opportunity to kind of play Diablo on the go is a really neat kind of little feature that I wasn't expecting them to announce. I really didn't think that Blizzard was going to have any interest in the Switch after this long. Just because, I mean, Diablo 3 originally came out on PC, and then eventually came out on like PS3 and Xbox 360, and then again it came back out on the oh, what's it called? The Xbox One and the PS4. So it kind of went like quite a while without being released on the Switch at this stage. Like, it would have been expected, similar to like Skyrim, that if it was going to come to the Switch, it was going to be closer to a launch title. But that wasn't. Oh, I've been slowed. That wasn't the case, or didn't seem to be the case. So, a little bit shocking in that regard that it took. What is it? This is now the second year, or almost the end of the second year for Switch. So it's taken 2 years into the life cycle to port over a game that's been out since, I think it's 2012 at this stage, which makes me feel old. But, I mean, I still enjoy the occasional hopping in here and just messing guys up. I'm currently playing a Crusader for this season because I like the look of the Crusader armor. I've played most of the classes across different machines. I have Diablo for PSC. I have it for PC. I had almost picked it up for PS4 as well, which, I mean, when you think about it, it's kind of ridiculous owning the same game like 10 different times, but it's kind of one of those things where I think that's just going to happen. That's just the way that it goes. With their new announcement for coming to the Switch, I have to admit I've been kind of on-off wondering if maybe a Switch is a console I'd like to get. I was pretty big into Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, which was effectively the launch title for the Switch, which they had changed at a certain point in time in the life cycle and the development cycle of that game. And I understand that. That makes perfect sense. But in doing that, it meant that I was still able to experience Breath of the Wild on the Wii U as slightly less optimized, but still essentially the same game experience. And I played the crap out of that. There was obviously no stream for that because I don't have an Elgato or anything like that to have been able to get, you know what, I'm finding that a little bit loud now. It's ironic how that works. Let me just bring that down a bit. But anyways, with the way that the announcement went, it kind of felt as though they could have, you know, added another expansion, or they could have added another jump to the Diablo title, but they didn't, and that's fine, I guess. That's like, you know, however you see it, however you look at it. They could have, there's a lot of things they could have done in announcing it for Switch, but it does, I have to admit, make me a little tempted to actually pick it up. And I know I'm kind of repeating myself in the sense of, well, why would you pick up a game like 10 or 12 different times? And I hate to admit this, but the convenience of the portable side of it, the fact that the Switch is a console you can take with you, you can go places with the Switch that, you know, you can't really do with your PS4 or your PC. Like, there's elements to that where it's kind of like, kind of tempted. So we'll see. It may be something that I invest in at some point, just because, I mean, it's portable. It's portable Diablo. Diablo is a game that you can just pick up and go nuts, pretty much. Or at least that's the way it feels. I mean, I find I come back to this game every so often just to check in, see where the seasons are at, to try and level up another character through the season, through the Paragon levels. I don't really care so much about the leaderboards. I know there's people that are very like dedicated to trying to be the top of the top for the season, and I'm just not invested in it in the same way. But I do find that I do enjoy the occasional, you know, hop in, throw some hammers, summon some dudes, attack some enemies. Like, there's something to be said about that. Oh, there's a key warden over there. Let's go and get that key warden. Oh, hello. Gilgamesh the Immortal. And I'm also trying to just get Paragon levels for this season, because the more Paragon levels I collect, the more powered up I'll be, and the easier it'll be to do different difficulties of the season. So that's the other reason why I'm kind of hopping on here and doing a little quick stream. Now I am covering the map, which I do apologize for, but in the scheme of things, I feel like my options are cover the map or cover the character details. So I may switch that over at some point, because who really cares about the character stuff? It's more interesting maybe to see what's on the map. So we'll see here in a second. I'll just try and clear a bunch of these dogs. These curs. And this is on, as I say, Torment 2. But I'll show that off once we get these guys all freed up. Oh, really? Really? They want to run away a lot, which is kind of frustrating. There we go. Okay. Come on. Torment 2 is such a high level compared to my character. Just the sheer lack of damage. And I'll admit, I haven't like min-maxed or done any like focusing on specific abilities or anything like that. I know there's certain builds and certain playstyles that make the most sense for these games, but I haven't quite done that. While that's unlocking, let's fix this camera thing, shall we? Boop. Okay. And then slide that over, slide that over. So much stuff. Alright, and that should bring me back in. There you go. So now you can see the map. The map and the level, and we can take a look at some of the chapter objectives and the armor that I'm trying to get. All that goodness. But yeah, going back to the whole Switch thing. So yeah, the announcement. So it includes like Ganondorf armor, which is pretty rad. And it also has like certain penance and certain unlocks and stuff that are Zelda related and Nintendo related. So there's an element there where I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I can get like the Master Sword or whatever in. I mean, that geeky, nerdy kind of mindset of mine, having grown up with Nintendo, and I now have a Nintendo NES Classic and a Super NES Classic. You just can't help but be but to have that kind of little bit of interest in seeing what they're going to do, and seeing what the combination of Nintendo and Blizzard is going to create. Because I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the last time Nintendo and Blizzard actually worked together on any game or on any series was back on the Nintendo 64 for StarCraft 64, which was not perhaps the best way to play an RTS game by any stretch of the imagination, but was an interesting kind of proof of concept that games meant for PC can sometimes merge their way over or make their way over onto console and be okay or be acceptable. I mean, I enjoyed StarCraft as much as it was a subpar experience. It was still enjoyable enough that I found I wanted to spend a lot of time checking it out and playing it and enjoying it. So whenever this came up, this announcement, it kind of seemed like one of those things where I was like, huh, I never thought I would see those two names together. I never expected to hear a Blizzard and Nintendo team up after this many years of having no Blizzard Nintendo team ups. I mean, we went into the original Xbox era where Blizzard said, oh, we're going to make a console game called StarCraft Ghost, and that never happened. It never came to fruition. I mean, that game was in development for the longest time. There's magazines and covers and so much information on it that it felt like it was, you know, days away from being released and being done. And what happened was Blizzard just opted to say, no, we're not really interested in console games anymore. And then, you know, during that era, you had Diablo 2 come out, you had Warcraft 3, you had World of Warcraft, you had all these titles that just kept coming out for PC. I would argue World of Warcraft, being an MMO, you could probably map that to a controller in an acceptable format, similar to like the Elder Scrolls Online, where that one would have been one of the games where you probably could have turned it into a console game acceptably, more so than the RTS and the the RTS games that Blizzard made. But the fact that Diablo 1 came out on, I think it was the PlayStation, and Diablo 2 just skipped consoles, it was like, okay, Blizzard's done with consoles, they're never going to do a console game ever again. And then in the last few years, they've just been doing all this stuff that's so unexpected, that's been so kind of unique. You've got Hearthstone, which is this card battle game, which whoever would have thought that Blizzard would make a card battle game similar to like a Magic the Gathering that would do so well. I think it's still one of their top grossing, top selling games, even over, I would almost say it's over World of Warcraft, but I'm not, don't quote me on numbers exactly, because I don't follow it that closely, but I know it does really well for them. But it is very surprising to me that after so many years being away from the console environment, being away from console gaming and console gaming experiences, that all of a sudden with Diablo 3 they've put it on everything. I mean, the only systems that don't have it are the true handhelds, the 3DS and the and like a Vita or kind of something along those lines, although the Vita seems to fundamentally be something that's kind of on its way out. Every other console, it seems, has a Diablo port now, has the ability to play a Diablo game or a version of a Diablo game, for Diablo 3 specifically. And it's a bit shocking, but it's also kind of curious and kind of interesting, because it's one of those things where it makes you sit there and go, is it possible they could bring Hearthstone to, because they brought it to tablets, they brought it to PC, they brought it to your phone. Would Hearthstone eventually become a console game? Because that would be shocking, because that's something that they didn't seem really for, but it seems like more and more game business is moving towards, let's put it on everything. The unfortunate side of that, though, is that there isn't really a cross save or a cross kind of like account type thing. I will say that whenever you bought the PS4 or Xbox or PS3 or 360 versions of Diablo, it did connect to your Battle.net account. There was a way to connect to your Battle.net account, at least in the beginning, that would just unlock, you know, 1 or 2 pieces of gear, and that was kind of it. That was like the gist of what you would receive as a result of already having a Battle.net account, which was cool and all, but it wasn't make or break, and it wasn't like you could play with your friends on PC, or that you could carry over saves or characters or stuff like that, even though this game is essentially 100% online at all times. It just, yeah, it wasn't something that they put in. It was kind of a thing that they kind of just left on, you know, kind of just left out, and just, for better or worse, just rolled with. If it's on the PS3, it's on the PS3. If it's on the Xbox, it's on the Xbox. Like, even to the point where your PS4 version doesn't communicate with your PS3 version. So, I mean, that's just what they did. It's not, you know, it's not a make or break or drastic issue in the way that they set up the titles. But now that they've got it on a Nintendo machine, it kind of makes me question as to, are they going to do cross-play type stuff? Like, because one of the big things that's been happening lately is you're always hearing about this, all this cross-play stuff, especially happening between Xbox and Nintendo, which is surprising, because there was, like, for a while there, a pretty good blood feud between those two companies, or it felt like there was from the were in previous generations of consoles. But then they moved more to this whole crossplay thing, like with Minecraft and Rocket League and a few other titles. There's a surprising number of things that you can kind of link up to one another, and I think that's kind of cool. And it makes me interested now with Nintendo hopping into the Diablo world, if that means there could be the potential for some crossplay in Diablo. Now, maybe not necessarily for PC, because I don't know if that would be like sanctioned by the whole Activision Blizzard combination, or whatever you want to call it. But it'd be interesting to see if that actually has any sway or any leeway, or if that actually causes any push or change to the way things are going at this current state. But that all said, even taking the whole fact that they're looking at changing, or not changing, introducing Diablo 3 to the Switch is just a cool thing, in the sense that here's a 6-year-old game that's been played by many, enjoyed by many, and is going to be enjoyed by many, many more, and potentially some of the same people that have played it in the past, but now have the convenience of, well, I feel like taking Diablo to, you know, my vacation home up in wherever your vacation home may be, in Turks and Caicos, let's say. And you're able to actually do that. You're actually able to take a portable version of Diablo. You don't have to take your console. You don't have to, you know, I mean, you'll obviously take your console, because the Switch is an oddball in the way that it is a console. But you don't have to, like, try and find the right type of TV. You can play it on the plane. You can play it in your car. You can, like, there's an element to that where it's kind of surprising to me that of the many partnerships and connections that have popped up as a result of the Switch doing so well, there's a confusion for me in the sense of why did we never see something on the 3DS or on the DS or on, you know, there's kind of a question there as to what specifically about the Switch being portable prompted this greater interest in finally having a title from, as I say, 6 years ago being ported over and being introduced to maybe some new people, but extensively, most of the people that are going to be playing Diablo 3 on the Switch are going to be people that have played Diablo 3 on PC, on PS4, on Xbox, on PS3, on, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many ways to play this game that I can't understand is that are they actually attaining a new market, or is it just that I'm willing to pay the same price to play my game on the go has become such a big deal that people are buying it up in droves? Like, there's a lot of questions about that type of thing that I kind of wonder. I'm kind of curious as to, like, how things are going to proceed in the future with what the Switch has been doing. I mean, 2016's Doom came out in 2017/2018 for the Switch. It's a good game, but it sold relatively well on the Switch because people wanted that portability of Doom suddenly. With the copy of Skyrim. Skyrim was a big deal. People bought a lot of Skyrim. That's another game that had been out for quite a long time. I can honestly say I'm a bit ashamed because Skyrim's a game where I've sunk maybe 2-3 hours starting new characters over and over again, and I've never actually played all the way through. So that's probably one that I feel more and more that I need to stream. I need to actually kind of sit myself down and actually go, we are playing this game. I am playing this game. As opposed to kind of letting it sit dormant in my Steam library. But I mean, it's incredible because I have to admit that it was with this announcement of Diablo that it really triggered to me that Nintendo and the Switch are doing something that I never expected a console company could do and, like, kind of get away with. And I don't want it to sound as though I think they're committing a crime or that they're doing something wrong, but whenever we got new consoles, it always felt as though new consoles had to be new games, new experiences, new flavors. It always felt as though the big driving push for purchasing your next console, purchasing your next device was going to be based upon just being, man, where is this guy? Maybe he's up there. Based upon being able to experience something new. This is the first time where, to such a huge extent, something new doesn't matter. It's more about, give me a portable version of that thing that I've been playing for the last 10 years or for the last 4 years or 6 years or however it is, and I'll be quite happy. And that's kind of cool. I'm kind of impressed with the fact that we have games like Skyrim, like Doom, like Diablo now, that are coming over onto the Switch because the Switch has enough of a draw that people are interested in truly chasing after, you know, let me play Outlast or Outlast 2 on the go. Like, that's something that I believe is coming to that console. Like, that's mind-blowing, because that's an experience that, having played it on PC whenever it pretty much first came out for Outlast 1 and then streaming Outlast 2, that's a game that feels nothing like what Nintendo would have allowed on their machines in the past. There's Doom. Doom is so bloody and gory and just so brutal that it's hard to believe that Nintendo said, yeah, we want Doom. Doom's good. And it's interesting too, because I look at the titles on Switch that I would be interested in, and they're kind of limited. but they're limited in a way that I find makes for kind of a higher quality, maybe, or like a higher recognition of those types of games. So it's interesting, as I say, that like the Switch has as much of a draw as it does, and I have to admit, I'm interested in it. And I mean, this announcement makes me more interested, as much as I'm like, man, I've played the heck out of Diablo 3. More Diablo 3 doesn't sound like a bad thing, and more Diablo 3 on the go. I mean, it's starting to impact me that maybe a Switch isn't a bad purchase. Cami Jiao, hello sir. Do you want any help leveling or gearing, or are you having fun just chilling solo? At the moment, Cami Jiao, I'm just kind of just messing around. Kind of more. This will probably be a little bit of a shorter stream. I don't know if I will be playing for a long time. It's more a matter of just kind of getting some ideas out of my head in regards to this announcement today of Diablo 3 coming to the Switch, what my feelings are of the Switch, and whether or not I think it's kind of going in a direction I expected. This is more like a therapy session for myself, if you will. And not like that I'm having a hard time or anything with the Nintendo and Blizzard finally working together after 20 some odd years. But it's just one of those things where it's kind of neat to see how things seem to come back around. It's that whole element of where people always say what's new is old and what's old is new. There's kind of an element of that that's going on, I find, where we're getting a lot of I should spend some Paragon points here. I like to move faster, and let's just do that. Sure. But I do find that the yeah, what's old is new and what's new is old, because I mean, we're seeing older titles. We're seeing titles that are extensively getting into the 10-year range, which was usually the after 10 years, no one's going to want to play that game anymore. And then, you know, after another like 10 years, they become nostalgic and you want to come back to it. Thus the release of the NES and Super NES Classic, which I'm still hoping for a 64 Classic, because that would be amazing. I would be so excited to have Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, all available on an HD system that I don't have to Virtual Console. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know how they would make the controller. I feel like the controller nowadays, the 64 controller would be the weirdest thing on the planet. But I think it'd be a really neat opportunity there if they wanted to do that. And I mean, they just keep shocking me. They really do. Whenever Bethesda came out and said, "Oh yeah, we're putting Skyrim on the Switch," I was like, "Oh, that's gonna run like garbage. That's not gonna be a good game. There's no way it's gonna work." People that are saying that like graphically it's not like a top-end PC or your PS4 and stuff like that, but it plays the same, looks the same, relatively the same, plays the same experience, has the same glitches. It is Skyrim on the go. And then with Doom it just came without the multiplayer installed on it because Doom's just too big, which I understand. You know, the Switch's memory, which seems to be the only big hindrance to it, is that it's that whole SD card based memory, which is fine and all, but it does feel a little bit limited whenever it doesn't have a built-in hard drive, or at least a built-in, like, you know, terabyte or more hard drive. But I understand as well as to why there are some benefits to that. I mean, you look at the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X and just the size of those machines, it makes sense that the Switch, this portable holding your hands device, is not going to have as big of a hard drive or as big of a system in it, just because Why? It doesn't need it. It's portable. So it's kind of neat because it's kind of like an evolution of the 3DS, almost, in the way that the portability exists there. But it just still is so mind-blowing to me that we've had so many announcements for game companies that looked like they had abandoned, or that they were never going to go anywhere near Nintendo. Like, I look back to Bethesda over the last, like, nearly 20 years, that they would putting out games like Morrowind, going back to, like, Oblivion, and all the other Elder Scrolls games. They never came to Nintendo. They never had anything to do with Nintendo. It was like, it was PC and then Xbox, just because Xbox was kind of related to PC. And that was it. You never heard of Nintendo and Bethesda really having that close of a working relationship, or of an existence. It was not a thing that existed. So then to start seeing these games popping up onto the Switch, where it's like, oh, here's your Fallout, here's your oh my goodness, I just blanked. Here's your Skyrim, here's your Doom from id Software. And Doom Eternal is also coming to the Switch. And then for Blizzard to step up this year and go, yeah, we're bringing Diablo as well. And it's like, wow, it's a full price game, which I think is a bit crazy given the age of the title. But I understand that there was probably some significant development costs in ensuring that it ran well, or well enough, on the Switch to be able to put it on the Switch. And then they added new stuff to it, which seems interesting. But, like, the big thing for me is I'm really curious as to if it has, like, and it's gonna sound awful for some people, but does it have amiibo support? Am I able to take my Legend of Zelda amiibo that I used for Breath of the Wild, that allowed me to get armor and unlocks and all kinds of crazy stuff in that game? Am I able to take that and, you know, summon Wolf Link into Diablo, into Sanctuary? Or am I able to take with me Samus and have Samus as a follower, as opposed to the Templar, or as opposed to the other characters that are in the title? Like, what others are they going to add? Because so far they've already mentioned, like, exclusive gear and exclusive armor, Ganondorf, and portraits of, you know, cosmetic-y stuff, which is fine, because they do that for every single release that they put out. They're like, oh, if you buy this or pre-order this, you get this and get this and get this for that, and unlock this pennant for that thing, and unlock this for this thing, and, like, and that's fine and all. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm totally okay with those types of things, but it's, you know, in the scheme of things, it's just a cosmetic. It's not like here's a complete rehash of the game, or here's a completely new mode or a new system, or... But, yeah, the convenience of being able to grab a Switch. If I was on, like, a family vacation with nieces and nephews and my other family members and stuff like that, and let's say we went on, like, an all-inclusive stay somewhere, and, you know, it was raining or something, and we're like, we don't really want to go outside, but there's not really a lot to do, you know. You don't bring, like, you wouldn't have to bring, like, a board game or something like that. Not that I dislike board games. Board games are actually absolutely awesome, to be honest. In my household here, there's kind of an addiction to monopolies, to the versions of Monopoly that keep getting released. One that has me excited right now is they're doing a Warhammer 40,000 Monopoly that's going to be coming out, and that seems pretty awesome. Cannot believe that that's happening. There's once again, like, this whole 2018 has been a year of shocks for just the stuff and the partnerships and the deals that are going on between companies. there's so many things where I look at it and I go, and they did what now? And you're releasing this on the what? There's just a lot of shocking releases and shocking things that have been put out there, so it's kind of cool. And it's also kind of exciting because it's like, for me, a lot of my fandoms, a lot of the things that I really associate with from my childhood and from my many years of playing video games and consuming different media and activities and whatnot, there's been a lot of announcements that have actually gotten me kind of excited. Have actually given me a reason to be interested in some of those activities. So it's kind of neat to see as we go through and we get stuff that's like, oh, I didn't expect them to release a Warhammer-based Monopoly. I didn't expect them to take Diablo and put it onto the Switch. I didn't expect them to do, you know, there's so many things. It is a little bit overwhelming in ways, because it's like, why is there so many like so many things popping up now? I wonder if I should switch that shield. No, I'll wait. Because, I mean, we've gone through, it feels like, ages of, oh, it'd be so cool if, you know, if we saw a Nintendo mashup with Metal Gear, like they did back in the old days, whenever the original NES and Famicom and that had Metal Gear on them. And then all of a sudden, you know, boom, we've got Metal Gear on Smash Bros. With Solid Snake. It's stuff like that that kind of, you know, those were little things. Cloud from Final Fantasy. All stuff like that was always like, huh, that's interesting, that's surprising to me that that's a thing, that's going down. But then it just seemed to take off from there. I mean, if we look at, and I think this is probably the other reason why I'm interested in a Switch, is the current Smash Bros. Game. The number of characters in that game is incredible. I mean, to this day, I still, you know, I'll still fire up Smash Bros. Brawl, or I'll still fire up Smash Bros. On the Wii U once in a while whenever we have friends over. It's just that type of game where it's very quick and easy to load it up and just have some fun, you know, just kick each other's butts. And they're effectively bringing it back, but they're bringing it back with so many extra characters, so many new friends, like Castlevania in Smash Bros. And they're not done yet. Like, I'm convinced that with their current release announcements of Smash Bros. and of the whole Richter and Belmont, Simon coming into it, that they're going to bring other characters as well. Like, I'm convinced there's going to be a lot of franchise crossovers that we're going to see with that title. That makes it pretty exciting, to be quite honest, because it's not every day that you get to take your video game heroes and just pit them all against each other. Oh man, this is an awful combination. These arcane guys with their like warp fire crap is not good. And I just pinned myself in a corner. There we go. Get rid of this guy if we can. So yeah, it's been an interesting little block of time that we've faced lately, as especially for myself, and I don't know if anybody else has had this, but like just the shock of these different titles of these different events has been just kind of mind-blowing. I've kind of hit a stage where I'm just like, man, the thing that I wanted as a kid, the mashups of all these different characters, the insane battles, the insane just number of enemies and stuff that's in games, like all the things that we're kind of getting are all happening so rapidly. It's amazing. It really is. It's one of those things where, like, if I could have told 10-year-old me that, hey, if you wait long enough, you're going to have a portable version of Diablo that you can take with you on the go that has multiplayer access, and all you need is this little handheld Joy-Con thingy. And then also, you know, there's going to be a Smash Bros. Game that doesn't have just 16 characters, doesn't have 20 characters, it has like nearly what looks like 100 characters, and just keeps growing as they keep announcing more and more stuff. Like, I'd be freaking out. I'd be totally like, I'd be screaming to my mom and dad that we need to go to the store right now and I need to buy a Switch. And I think the only thing that's stopping me from really being that that individual and pursuing that kind of thing is just the fact that my my time constraints are what I realize are my biggest challenge now. It's one of those things where, and you hear it all the time from like games media folks and folks that are in the business and stuff like that, that they find it harder and harder to play games because life just kind of gets in there. It's true. It's one of those things where, and I think I've mentioned it before on stream before and everything, but if I didn't stream, I wouldn't play games. So part of the reason why I enjoy streaming so much is that it gives me an opportunity to get into titles that I may have left to the wayside, titles that I may not have been playing as frequently. It gives me the opportunity to kind of show off some of the stuff that I like, and, you know, kind of compare with community members and people around the world as to like what their opinions are on games and on levels and on tactics. And there's a social element to streaming that makes, you know, an evening at home where you don't have too many other plans and you're just going to pick up and play a little bit of a game feel more accessible, feel more kind of the way you want to be. So I think that's kind of good, because otherwise I think gaming as a hobby for me would become kind of a thing where I'd probably disconnect from it. If I didn't have, you know, people like Vincer, who I play with on Destiny and on other titles, and occasionally pops up in stream and all that stuff, that, you know, just having that other person to play with means, oh, okay, cool, as an adult, here I am able to play with another person. I'm able to keep myself kind of entertained and also be able to talk to another person, so you kind of get that social element as well, which, yeah, the combination, both streaming and social gaming with your buddies and with your family and stuff like that, like, totally recommend it. It's so much better than just trying to, you know, and it's not for everybody, but I find for me at least, just kind of like, if I were to play a game on my own, like 100% on my own, it just wouldn't have the same draw. There's definitely elements of games where if I had to do so much of this on my own, like if I was just like constantly let's say playing Diablo, but completely on my own. Like, I never played with anybody else. I never really got to communicate with anybody else. I really don't think I would be enjoying it as much as I do. Now let's go and collect our reward, seeing as we completed those bounties. See what Teriel's going to give us. What'd I get? Legendary boots. They look cool. Don't think I've seen that type before. It's like a greeny color. New transmog. Oh, they're quite a bit lower. Quite a bit lower than what I have currently. It's kind of a shame. That's not bad, not bad. I wonder if I should just switch. You know what? Let's just do it. We're gonna have to switch shield eventually anyway, so we'll just throw these ones in here. Oh, I should have got rid of those gems. And get rid of all those, get rid of all those, repair. And let's see. What do I need to do for our objectives again? Was there a kill Asmodan? I thought on Torment 2. There it is. Kill Asmodan on at level 70, Torment 2 difficulty or higher. Kill Adria. Reach level 20. Rift level 20. Solo. So, okay. So let's go take on Asmodan. That seems like a fun one. Where are you? There you are. Let's go and fight Asmodan. Because why not? Sometimes you'll get a bounty to actually kill him, but that's not always consistent. So I'd rather just work our way up. We'll take him on, kick his butt, and then maybe that'll be kind of where we progress to the to another one of those objectives. Maybe try that greater rift thing. We'll see. I don't know if I really don't know if I'm strong enough to be able to do the greater rift stuff, so that'll be a hard one to say. We'll have to kind of test that out, I think. It's always tricky, I find, because you want challenge in these games. So you want the difficulty to be high enough that you feel as though you're really sticking it to the man type thing. Whenever you take down a big boss, or you take down an elite, or you fight like certain types of enemies, you just feel like it's like you've accomplished more. And there's certainly an element where that's the way you really want it to be. Oh, I'm gonna be frozen for sure. Oh my god. But I don't know if there's a way. I kind of wish there was a way to grind out the different difficulties without having to get into these stages where it kind of slows down. Now, I mean, I just was facing a bunch of elites and a bunch of boss characters there, so obviously there's a oh my goodness. Get him. I think he got away, did he? He seemed to summon these things to fight me. Yeah. Darn it. So that is the one thing with the Seasons of Greed event, is that there's a lot more of those, like, those what are they called? Loot goblins and things along those lines. So you face a lot more of them and you potentially get a lot more loot out of them. The problem is that this difficulty, very difficult to keep kind of in range. Okay, there we go. Cleared those guys. Got a little more XP, got some stuff out of the chest. Let's continue along. There it is. See you guys later. I'm gonna go fight Azmodan. Try and get this objective done. And it's funny too, every time I see Azmodan now, I always think of the Asmo dunk in Heroes of the Storm, where he's got his like his basketball gear on and everything. Okay, we got him stunned. He's going down pretty quick, actually. Kind of surprised. Let's just get out of there for a minute. Can I get some more? Oh, get out of that. Bunch of bodies being rained down on me. That's nice. Can I go for a ride? Oh, that caught me on the edge. Kind of a pain. Holy moly. I don't think I've ever had him live long enough to summon this much stuff. Because normally I think I've beaten Azmodan on lower levels, so I've never actually seen just how messed up the level gets. That's pretty surprising to me. Look at that. Just summoning guys like all over the place. Ow. Oh, can't seem to get past him on that side. I'll have to go around this way. Get rid of that summoning thing. Come back around here. Get rid of this other summoning thing. Get some more hammers out, please. Ow. That hurt quite a bit. How do you like me now, Azmodan? How do you like me now? I'm kicking your butt. Oh, you're stunned. Oh no, poor you. Just keep spamming hammers. There we go, there's a pretty good little hit. Oh, he's down. There we go. Bye, Azmodan. Now, did you drop a chest by chance? Because I know normally whenever you kill these guys, you get, like, diabolic hordes or whatever that sometimes pop up on the map. But I don't seem to see one. Maybe with him you don't? Or maybe it's because I took too long? Not sure. But anyways, that's one more seasonal objective down. What else is there? Well, let's try that Greater Rift one, I guess. See if we can see how that goes. It's been a long time since I've done a Greater Rift. So this will be interesting. Greater. Accept. Oh my goodness. Quite a few enemies as we first walk in here. I do admit that I do wish there was a little bit more to this. the bounties thing is cool and all, and I do enjoy leveling up my Paragon levels and grinding out different gear and stuff. Like, that's always been enjoyable, but I do wish that they had brought out another, like, a big expansion, not just like... Not even just like a, it wouldn't even have to have been anything too crazy. I mean, like... I don't know. What would I want? They brought out the Necromancer. That was something I was really keen on whenever they did that. But it would have been nice to have had... Let's go this way. I guess there's not much reason to continue that way. Oh my goodness. The, yeah, I really would have liked... I don't know, like... Whenever they brought out the Reaper of Souls expansion, that was pretty cool, because then all of a sudden you had these new continent areas to go to, you had these new enemies to face. I feel like maybe if they had have done another one of those, that would have been kind of neat to have added to the game as a whole. I mean, Diablo is certainly an enjoyable game, especially for me whenever you're kind of waiting for, you know, some time to pass, and you don't want anything too crazy, thought-provoking, or too challenging. You don't want to worry about PvP or stuff like that if you don't have to. Like, there's a lot of elements to this which gives it the benefits that it has. Surprised that there's no bosses around here. Just gonna have to keep kind of exploring. I mean, I think we're still collecting points, but because we're on the timer, because it's a greater rift, I would like to... There they are. There they are. There he is. That's gonna pose us a problem. Gotta be careful here. Drag this guy with me. Oh my goodness. Well, that's a little intense. I can't even tell which one's the actual, like, which one's the... Oh, there he is. Okay, so we got him. There we are. That's what we needed. Now, there is a totem thing over here. Oh yeah, this is the one that brings all your powers back a lot quicker. Okay, let's kind of keep moving. Speed is of the essence, or time is of the essence, however you want to put it. My goodness, there's so many enemies. It's great because it means that I'm able to kind of sustain a steady lead on my timer. But it does mean that, my goodness, there's really a lot of them. Holy moly. Alright. Continue down this way. We're looking for bosses. Bosses is where it's most important, because bosses are what get us extra. Okay. There's the boss set right there. That's good. Oh my goodness, but I keep getting knocked away from them. Oh, they're gonna freeze me. Get out of there. There we go. Okay, they're over here. Ooh. Oh, don't die. Oh. Darn it. I got caught in a bad spot. Oh my god, I'm stuck on so much stuff. Oh man, these ones really kicked my butt. That was really unfortunate. That was quite a loss of time there. Okay, come on, let's get that shield pylon. Just try and clear as much of these enemies. There we go. There's a nice clear. Can't complain about that. Just kill a bunch of these. There we go. Keep moving through the forest. Oh my goodness. Go, go, go. That was a pretty good one. Okay. Where can we go? Where can we go? We haven't seen a lot of bosses here, I have to admit. There we go. There's a boss. Hi there. Kind of try and pick each of them off here. There we go. One left. Perfect. Oh, there's a boss. Nice. Oh, they really like the electrical ones in this this rift, it seems. Oh, he's got fear too. That's kind of annoying. Oh, and he's ice. Oh, get out of the electric, get out of the electric. Oh, thank you for the heal. Nice, that should do it. Hi there, Rift Guardian. How you doing? Just kind of fight him here. Might as well, while I'm here, level up something. Let's do that. Just click the first button I see. Oh. Bloody teleport. How you like me now? Oh, we got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Ah. Kind of get up closer to this guy. Come on. I'm just gonna keep hitting you. It's just not gonna end. There we go. Summon those guys to help me out. It's almost done. Oh, bloody warp. Gotcha, buddy. All right. Yay. Upgrade. Cool. Oh, I feel pretty happy about that. All right. Let's go back to Bastion's Keep. Do 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 do. Talked a good Auric there. Nice. Level 13 completed. Only took me not long at all. Blood shard capacity increased. Nice. Do I even have any blood shards? Oh, I actually do. Let's get one of those, get one of those, and one of those, 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 one of those.
Too expensive.
Can't resist sometimes. Alright, and we'll use the Book of Cain. Oh, I could have just done the one, but whatever. Oh, wow. Not as good as what I currently have, unfortunately. Too bad, because that's a nice legendary, too. Don't have anywhere that I'm going to put that gem just yet, so we'll put that away. Let's see. Of all these items that we have, is anything actually good enough to replace anything that I'm wearing at the moment? Oh, I should be looking too to see if any of these can go into the Templar. Give him some new gear. Like that. Here you go, buddy. Here, I'll even give you a gem. What else we got? Oh yeah, no reason for any of that. Okay. Get rid of all of that. And repair all. Okay, those can go away. Look how full my stash is getting. What to do now? What else we have objective-wise? So a level 20 Rift would be quite a bit higher than what I just did as a level 13 Greater Rift. Kill Adria on Torment 4. Reforge a weapon property to a socket. Don't remember how to do that. Oh, we should see. Let's actually see what I got from these two seasonal things. Are those actually all the gear other than the chest, really? Nice. Oh yeah, let's throw that on. Sure. Sure. And sure. So what do I look like? I look now like this. So other than the chest, I have all the gear now, which is cool. So we're certainly working on that. I don't know if, let's see. That one's not better. That one technically is better. See, it's tricky because the entire thing is based upon using Akrat's champion, but I don't use that ability. Although I guess I could. Anyways, let's get rid of the stuff that we're not going to use. Torn on that one. Very torn. Should I switch to having the champion skill ability? I'm wondering. Yeah, maybe I will swap that out, actually. Swap out Falling Sword. Or actually, maybe the shield throw would be a better one to swap out, because I don't really use it that often. Switch that to, now... Do. Always never sure which one I should use here. Let's do that. So now I can pop that at any time that I like. I should take a look at this grader. Can I actually make it a level 20? No, I can only go to level 15. Can only go to level 15. Well, you know what? I think we take a look and see how bad Torment 4 actually is. This will be interesting. I have not done... I think the last character that I had this high into the Torment levels. Let's just try this. Hop into a section and see how bad it actually is. Because yeah, I can't remember the last time that I actually can't remember the last time I played on this difficulty. I mean, they're certainly causing a lot of damage to me. Certainly a lot of damage being caused there. This could be, oh wow. This could be tricky for sure. I'm not sure if this is a good thing or not. I mean... As long as I have the champion thing up, I seem to be doing okay. And it stays up a lot longer as a result of the boost. Man, health is just dropping like crazy. There's another Paragon level. Let's do that. Definitely could use some more. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Here's like the true test. Oh my god, I'm barely hurting them. Where they are just rinsing me. Definitely would be very tricky to do the higher level torments. Huh. Maybe I should grab that chest. Maybe it will have something good in it. Hard to say. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Pop that. I mean, we're killing them. Heal up a bit. Wow. This is pretty crazy. can honestly say that Torment 4 is a challenging level. I don't know how I would do some of the seasonal objective stuff. Have to take a look again to actually see what some of those seasonal objectives actually are for. Oh my goodness. Oof. Shock damage. Oh my god, and they summon stuff too? Oh, I'm in so much trouble whenever that comes back around. Oh. Come on. Please kill some more of them. There we go, there we go. Oh. Holy moly, whenever they hit you. Watching my health go from full to below half. Oh my goodness. Ooh, nice chest there. Why, yes, I will take all of that. What we got? Anything good? Anything good? Not really. Okay. Continue along. I'm gonna try and complete this objective, and then I'm gonna take a look at the seasonal stuff and see. See what it is that we need to complete, and we'll kind of run through those if we can. Kind of try and grind out a little bit. Oh! Was kind of standing right in the middle of that. No, get out of there, get out of there. Jeez. Dead guard, dead guard. Every time I see guardsmen, I always think of like the Imperial Guard from Warhammer 40k. I don't know why, but there's just something about the word that just makes me think of the that whole series, franchise, whatever you want to call it. I can't get over how strong these things are. Definitely with Erat's champion triggered, I do much, much better. Much, much better. Now I just have to make sure that we can clear all the enemies. Seem to be causing pretty good damage. Not like stunning and amazing or anything, but acceptable. Hi there, you're a boss, so I'm gonna pop my Erat's champion. Wow. I mean, he's just so full of health. What the? Where'd that guy come from? Random minions. Oof. There we go, there's a lot more damage. all about that champion. Heal up a bit. I mean, I guess it's doable. The more I'm doing this, the more I'm realizing that it's probably doable. It just would take time. Is really the only thing. Oh, great. So I think maybe we will give it a try, given that I just have to pay a little more attention. I can't wait to face these bosses. Just how much time it's gonna take. It's gonna be so long. Let's see, is there anybody up here? Nope. Smash those. Oh, look. I believe this is the majority of our enemies here. Pop the champion ability there and just... There we go. Let's increase my life. Okay, so... Chapter objectives. Slay Odeg the Key Warden at level 70. Odeg Key Warden be found in Act 1, Fields of Misery. Act 1, Fields of Misery. Oh boy. Oh, there he is. Try and work my way up to him. Where is he? Says he should be on the map, but oh my god, I'm gonna get killed here. Just so swarmed. Oh wow. Totally surrounded. Oh my god, let's get the heck out of there. Just too many enemies. Oh wow. Oh man, no, that's not, it's just not doable. Just not doable, not like that. Oof. We're gonna need some serious grinding to be able to take that on. Torment 4, just not ready for it. Not yet. That's okay though. Gotta start somewhere. There we go. And we'll just cash this one in. So I guess we'll drop down to Torment 3 or Torment 2 to be able to kind of grind out some more gear and stats and then work our way into Torment 4, because man, that's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Just don't have the durability. But that's okay. We should try and... Well, anyways, I think that's actually a pretty good spot to probably stop for now, because really we're just getting into the grind. But you can already see what kind of the armor, at least with the exception of the chest and legs, looks like, which is pretty cool. And that's what we were really, what I was really going for. I'll just swap out my, let's get the cow. Portrait frame, that doesn't really matter. Penance, switch to that. Alright. There we have it. That's my Crusader for Season 14 of Diablo 3. I'll continue the grind, and maybe I'll come back for another stream, but thank you guys for coming and checking this out. As I said, this was just going to be a little bit of a short one, kind of talk about some of the Switch stuff and hit a few things, see what we could unlock, and you know, I think we did relatively well for not a bad little grind session, a little stream session. I'm hoping to be streaming a little more frequently this week than I have, kind of on off. I've been very busy lately with hosting and kind of going to different events and different stuff. Work-wise, I'm also changing schedules and shifts, so that also makes things a little tricky. And then, of course, today, to kind of add insult to injury, I got attacked by a bunch of wasps, but we'll get into that's something that you guys don't really need to worry too much about. But anyways, yeah, I'll continue probably grinding this out. I'm excited, as I say, for the Switch version of Diablo 3. I'm interested to see, like, where they're gonna take it, because there's definitely an element there where it's pretty neat. Yeah, see, look at that. 135 is my regular Paragon level. There's my Necromancer. And then I also have my very low level Demon Hunter for some reason. I don't know why they're so low. And there's my Barbarian, level 21 only. There's a lot of these that I'd like to come back to. This is funny because this one here, this Witch Doctor, is my original character. And I just kept rebirthing him, so now he's only level 37. And then there's my original Crusader that I did the first or second season with. And yeah, that's kind of it at the moment. And there's my hardcore wizard. Hardcore, man. Hardcore. Anyways, guys, as I say, thank you, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully you guys if you guys like this kind of stuff, let me know. I don't mind hopping on here and kind of just going chat crazy whenever I just talk and rant about stuff going on in the world and whatnot, so let me know. Until then, guys, we will see you all later.